G'day folks, this is Sim and welcome back to Blood and Bloody Idiot. Well, I've been having a delightful time here in the spirit world. Unfortunately, that time is shortly going to come to an end. I will definitely be back here, but I think I've achieved the major things. Now, as I said, I wasn't going to go through a lot of the stuff because it was a lot of repetition. So as you can see here, what I've done is I've rebuilt my witchery setup. That was a little tricky. Had to do a little bit of work to get a few bits and pieces sorted out. One of the biggest difficulties was getting the fire lit underneath the cauldron here. I ended up going with an ash block and I lit it by placing lava down below and a wood block just in under there where that dirt is, and eventually it was enough to ignite the ash block. Now ash blocks burn the same as netherrack, so once they start burning they won't go out, whereas otherwise your only real way of doing it is to light a wood log, and wood logs you take the chance of them going out while you're still in the middle of whatever it is that you're working on. One of the things that you need to worry about, and we'll stay away because of the noise, is eggs. You're going to need eggs for the Bruise of Flowing Spirit, so that's one of the components. All of the standard witchery stuff. I don't really need the altar, but I've made it anyway because I'm sure it's going to come in handy, and it's got an altar power of 3,300 now, and that's without a wither skull or a chandelier, so that's not too shabby. The important thing though is we got the primary things that we needed, which was the witch's oven, the kettle, and the spinning wheel. Now, as you can see here, there's been a fair bit of work done around the place. Another priority that you're going to have to deal with is string. You are going to need it for a few things, so getting a decent supply of cotton is going to be important, and I highly recommend putting down a big field. It's really hard to get automation set up in the spirit world because you don't have access to redstone, and without redstone, unless you get lucky with a villager, and that's going to be a lot of work trading, without redstone most of your automation options are fairly limited. So yeah, big farms for anything that you can farm are going to make a difference. The other thing that I found very useful was putting together a farm for cows, because you do need the leather for a few bits and pieces, and it comes in very handy if you're wanting to make backpacks, and I have made some backpacks for use while I'm here. My other one's still back in the main world. I have resisted the urge to cheat, so far I've done everything legit. However, there is one small thing which I'll get to a little bit later, which I actually don't consider to be a cheat, but anyway, I'll let you guys decide on that. Either way, I'm pretty happy with it. We've got a good crop of fruit trees now, so the fruit trees plus the berries means that I've got a great supply when it comes to food. So we've got all of the sandwiches, and I probably should turn my interface back on just to make sure that I don't end up starving myself to death. Yeah, you can go in there. We'll grab a sanger now, and a couple more for later. Okay, so one of the things that I have done is I've done a little bit of work with this village, so I'll give you a quick tour. I've done a little bit of tidying up. I did manage to completely burn this house down because while I was mining I basically followed a tunnel, and that tunnel brought me up. Might be a better, actually I don't know whether I want to do this with the lumber axe. I'll probably chop down the whole house. Let's just do it by hand. Alright, that brought me out in here, and of course it's dark at the moment because it's glitching again, so let's do that. Oh, by the way, you can't access the backpack inventory, but you can hit O and bring up this screen here so that you can place your torch on your head. So anyway, I ended up coming up here, and as I broke into here, I managed to rupture a pocket of gas, and I realized that I was close to the surface because of the sand and the sandstone, so I basically dug up and I hit a floor, and I dug through the floor, and the gas all poured out, and of course there was a torch in this room, wasn't there? So I set the whole thing on fire. Alright, now none of this has really been necessary, but I wanted to do the tidying up of the village. It's just something nice and relaxing to do after all of the craziness that is the majority of Blood and Bones, and I really have enjoyed the spirit world. I find that it gives you a chance to stop and think, and it takes the intensity out of the pack. I've still got massive amounts of nasty stuff to deal with, but the fact that I could take the break at this point here, I think was really good, and I hope that doesn't change. Now you're not going to do that, are you? You rotten little shit. Alright, so we've actually got a fairly healthy crop of villagers, and I've gotten fairly lucky actually. If we have a look at these guys here, that one had a flint and steel, and cookies, and he's up to fish, and I'm not going fishing, so he can leave that for the time being. What else did we end up with? This guy here who does knowledge fragments and trades books for emeralds. Now that's a pretty good trade if you've got a decent sized farm going, but we don't have that sort of setup here. That's the same guy we were looking at before. This guy, on the other hand, bacon mushroom burgers, deluxe cheeseburgers, delighted meals, rainbow curries, and I haven't unlocked the next one, but I might just do that now. So this guy here takes wheat for emeralds. So let's see what we can get out of him before he decides to lock the trade again. That's 6, 9, and I'll probably have to harvest a little bit more. So yes, let's go to his last trade, which was the rainbow curry, and see whether there's anything after that that we can get. So you can see the rainbow curry is an absolutely kicker food. However, I do believe that the stack size on it is only 1. So actually let's just check that now. Can I stack them back together? No, you can't. Now, not you, you. Do we get anything after the rainbow curry? Ah, coal for emeralds. Alright, well that's not a bad trade to unlock at the end of a series of trades actually. That makes him a pretty decent villager because coal is not that hard to get hold of. So we might be coming back here to visit this guy. What else have we got over here? Let's just have a quick look around. This guy takes raw chicken, but I think there was another guy I was working my way through unlocks who takes raw chicken as well. So let's see if we can find him. Let me out. He'll be around here somewhere. Was it you? No. Emeralds for apples. Oi. You don't want to talk to me. Not you. Not you or you. This guy, emeralds for Certus quartz, and then Certus quartz dust for emeralds. The next trade is 13 emeralds for a chainmail, which I don't think I really want to worry about, but I might have a play with it. Still got our friend up here. He's permanently settled on top of that well, and I don't think he's planning on going anywhere. Now we've got this guy over here who sells wool of bat, which is fairly handy. Now, I've bought wool of bat off this guy a few times now, and he does the swirlies, but he doesn't seem to unlock anything, and I don't know whether that's because of my level at witchery, or whether that's the only trade that I'll get from him. If anybody knows how that works, then please let me know. Come on, let's find that other guy. I wanted to see what his next trade level was. This guy, emeralds for melons, emeralds for arrows. We may as well unlock one now just to see what we get. Don't really need the arrows, but let's just see what comes up next. Emeralds for apples. Yeah, let's push him a little bit further. You going to unlock? Yep, now you are. Cookies again. Alright, I'll save you for later. Let's see if we can find that last guy. I don't want to waste too much time here, but at the same token I do want to find that last trade, because he was the first one that I started trading with, and somebody's been stomping on my crops. Not you. It wasn't you. No, that was the fish guy. Come on, where's that other chicken guy? Is it you? Yeah, you. And you want 17 raw chicken, you rotter. Fine. Be like that. See if I care. Anyway. The next thing that I wanted to show off was the results of the mining, and yes, I have the ender chest, and I'll be getting to that soon. I'll just throw this in here. So basically my mining tunnel now goes all the way down to pretty much bedrock level. I've been doing a lot of mining at this level here, just tunneling out with the hammer, and I got really lucky. I got a nice break early on in the piece. I came across some adamantium, and adamantium is the second highest tier, I believe, of ores that you can get in the fantasy world. You can mix it together with Altaris, I believe it is, to make Tartarite, which is the strongest material that you can get. And the adamantium I found was sitting next to some coal blocks. So I figured, why not? I'll give it a crack. You can see what it's like down here when we get down into the depths. We're down on level 10 at the moment, and there's void gas all through down there, so it's pretty deadly. I need to be really careful. What's that? Topaz and ferrous. Now, it is possible, the one that you make with Biomes of Plenty, the recipe's there, but it really would surprise me if it was enabled. Hey, you. Not that I have anything against bats, but wool of bat is always handy to have. You going to come over? Nah. So anyway, I've been using the glintweed simply because it helps to deal with the red gas problem, and I hate lens gases with a passion. It's just a horrible, horrible, horrible mod. Interesting, but no, I don't like what it does. That's just me, and I mean that's part of the pack. I mean, the fact that I don't like it doesn't mean that I don't have to put up with it. Anyway, I triggered the coal gas with a torch, and it managed to drop 2 adamantium. and with that adamantium I was able to upgrade my pickaxe, and you can see that here that it's adamantine now. I had leveled it a fair amount prior, but as soon as I leveled it up to adamantine, you can see that the XP requirement for it was absolutely ridiculous. The amount of mining that I had to do to level this up nearly did my head in. And of course, when I originally made it, it couldn't mine adamantine. I actually had to level it first to get the boost, so that I could actually mine all of the tiers of the ore. But I now have access to all of the stuff. So we've got standard ores, and then we've got the lower tier fantasy ores, and the medium tier ones, mithril and promethium and oriclase and deep iron, and finally the top tier ones, which are the Atlaris, not Altaris, Atlaris and adamantine. And I've even gone to the extent of making myself up some tartarite leggings and boots. I was going to make the breastplate, but I've decided to hold off on that for the time being, just to see. Alright, we need to have a snack. And there we go. So that pretty much covers the work that I've been doing here. Everything has revolved around leveling and teching everything back up to the point where I could mine all of the ores in this area and get the brews of flowing spirit that we need to make our ender chest. And the ender chest is made using a spirit bucket and obsidian instead of the normal eye of ender. And the spirit bucket, you actually get that by, oops, I'm not going to do that right now, throwing a brew of flowing spirit down, and it will actually make a pool, and you can then pick that up with a bucket. And the other good thing about this is that when you stand in it, you get a little regeneration buff. So that's going to be handy for a few different things. As it stands, the other thing that I've made is an additional backpack. So if you have a look, my backpack actually now accesses my ender chest, because what I've done is I've made an ender backpack, and I don't think I can size it up, unfortunately, but that doesn't matter. I am hoping now, though, that I'll have something that I can keep emergency supplies in that won't get lost. I really, really miss the modded ender chests. The ability to pipe stuff in and out of them, the ability to make bags, is one of the things that I really, really enjoy about FTB. And vanilla ender chests, and the fact that they decided to make the things impossible to pipe stuff in and out of, has always been a bit of a downer from my, in my opinion anyway. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut out for a moment. I am going to put some of my materials into this ender chest, and then we're going to head back home and make another ender chest on the other side. And we're also going to test if this ender backpack does the same job as well. So bear with me while I take care of a little bit of housekeeping. Okay, now I'm going to be a little bit paranoid, and I'm not going to take all of my really good stuff through with me yet. I'm going to take a bit of everything, and also actually this backpack here is currently empty. I'm going to take this through with me. The other one that I've been using here, the standard one, I'll leave this here for use when I'm back in this area and mining. But the white one, it's handy to have an extra floating around. But what we'll have to do obviously is put it into here and hope that we don't, oh, I can't put this into an ender chest. That's a bit of a bother. Alright, well, we'll find a way around that. That won't be too much of a problem. Everything else can stay here. The bruise of flowing spirit should come through with me. Same with the subdued spirits, if my memory serves me correctly. Let's just grab ourselves an icy needle because we're going to need that to head home, and we will go from there. So wish me luck. Okay, I hear lots of mobs. Now, one of the things that I'm going to need to do straight away is I want to pop these out here because I want to make 1, 2, 3 spirit pools, which will improve my odds, I believe, now to 100% when it comes to... Okay, let's grab this, and let's also grab a weapon. We'll leave this here. We want our bow. We may as well grab all of the tools for now. I don't think there's likely to be any issues when it comes to travelling back and forth, to be perfectly honest. Have I got any food in here? Okay, we've got our normal knapsack and we've got the other backpack here. Alright, let's see what's going on. I can hear a lot of mobs. Nothing nasty there. Any surprises up here? Nope. Good. Yep, everything here looks pretty good. Let's head upstairs, see what's going on. Nothing's dying, so I'm not sure why. I've still got... Okay, those ones are still doing their trick. What about the ones down below in here? Are they still alive? Yeah, they are, although they're almost dead, so I'm either going to have to heal them with some splash potions of healing, or find another method. But that looks good. Alright, so let's head back down into the base, because everything seems to be okay down there. No damage down here. Nope. It's looking good. How's the power system behaving? That's frozen again, and that's probably due to the fact that it's completely full, of course, so there's no point for it to be running, I don't think. Alright, so far so good. Now, the first test is the backpack. Does it work? Yes, it does. That is sweet. So that allows me to get all of the fantasy ores. I'm probably going to have to put a new chest down here for ores. And we probably need to have a good look at sorting out how we're going to deal with our materials now, because I've got quite an expanded range of ores to work with. And although the backpack works, I really do want to... Let's just make a hole here for the time being. Toss that one in there. And where's my bucket? Do I have a bucket floating around here anywhere? You would think I got a bucket here somewhere. Well, I do, but where the heck I put it is anybody's guess. It's probably in one of my other backpacks. Alright, let's just make one quickly. It's probably the simplest way to deal with it. Should have some iron over here. Yep. Well, the sound mufflers seem to be doing a little bit. I don't know whether it's quieter for you guys. It's certainly quieter for me. Let's get that off the bar before we do something silly. And let's grab this obsidian. And that one there. And spirit bucket. And another ender chest, and let's just bury it in the wall over here next to this one, just for safety's sake. And there we go. So okay, that's a success. I'm going to have to clear that out, and I'm going to have to make some trips back and forth because we can't pipe stuff through, and at this point in time I'm not sure what options are available for dimensional transport. I would think that tesseracts are probably the most likely option that we want to have a look at. To make a tesseract in the spirit world, obviously we're going to need power, so we're going to have to be taking some redstone with us. Okay, tesseract frame itself is enderium ingots, diamonds and hardened glass. That's going to be the next thing that we work on, is hardened glass. Now that we've got some power, we should be able to get an induction smelter going. Now the enderium is okay, so amadrine and selenigel, or selenigel, I don't know. I'm not sure how that one's pronounced. Resonant ender. Okay, we can get those through, so that should be doable now. We've got access to these ores. I think the problem with these ones is that they require platinum, and platinum is really hard to get hold of. And again, that's one of the reasons why we're going to need the induction smelter, so that we can get it through other means. However, once we've got the tesseract frame, then we just need to fill it up with resonant ender. Well, that's not going to be too much of a problem. We are going to need a fluid transposer to do that. And then we need, oh no, we're screwed. Tartarite's not a problem, but desicalcus or desicalcus, that is an end metal. So I don't know if anybody knows a means of transporting items between the spirit world and the main world without an ender chest, now that we can take what we need to actually do things in the spirit world if necessary. Let me know. I'd really appreciate that. Otherwise, yeah, it could be quite interesting. Or it just means a lot of annoying trips back and forth, which, when you've gotten to the point where you've actually been able to make the ender chest and get through and actually bring stuff back, I think there probably wouldn't hurt for there to be some means of doing it legitimately. I mean, I could certainly do it with backpacks, but that's just a little bit wrong. Anyway, let's head upstairs and have a quick look around. We'll check out the farm first. I don't think much has been happening since we've been gone. I don't know whether time actually passes or not. This thing here. Now, one thing that I have discovered, I'm not sure whether I mentioned it before, but just in case I didn't, it's not going to be quite so painful when it comes to automating this, because you can actually plant the garlic without having to convert it into seeds, so that will take a little bit of the extra annoyance out of that process. So it shouldn't be too hard to hook up a planter and set it to hopefully only plant this side. Shouldn't be a problem if these ones are full the whole time anyway. So I'll probably automate that as far as the power is concerned. So we're looking good here. Doesn't appear to be any major damage anywhere. One of the other things that we'll be doing very, very soon is playing with one of the settings, which I believe, don't know for sure, but I've been led to believe anyway, it may fix the problem that we have had with invasions, because obviously at this particular point in time we still haven't had one after all of this time in game, which makes me tend to think that it's most definitely broken. And well, look, I know I'm probably going to get my ass handed to me. I suspect that the invaders are going to rip through my defences like they were butter. But we won't actually know what's good and what's not if we don't take a crack at dealing with them and see exactly what's involved. So I'm definitely going to be playing with that sometime soon, probably within the next few episodes, I would say. Anyway, that's enough chit chat. Welcome back to the nightmare, the real nightmare, which is Blood and Bones. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this one. Until then, take care of each other, everybody, and ciao for now.